Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today we're going to be installing a new heater in my workshop. This building is 30 foot by 50 foot, 10 foot ceilings. So it's 1,500 square foot, but cubic feet, there's a little extra because the ceilings are more than 8 foot tall. And when I got this building, it was just an open pole barn. I finished closing it in, I put automatic garage doors with windows in them, I insulated, put in a concrete floor, ran electric, and now in the winter, this is my workshop. We do a lot of work in here, really, and it's also kind of my man cave. You can see I've got this big aquarium that right now I'm working on, and I've got the TV up here where I watch football, I watch videos. I like to spend a lot of time in here, especially when the weather gets bad in the winter. And I ran into a little problem at the end of last winter. My heater burned up that runs this shop. And it was a central heat and air unit that I got cheap, used, and installed it myself to save cost. And now the heating element section of it needs replaced, and they're looking at $2,500 to replace that. Parts only, plus labor. So he said, the guy I got out here said it'd be around $3,500 to fix the unit I have. Buying a new one might be $6,000 or $7,000, and I just don't feel like I can invest that right now into heating this building, but I also want to at least keep it up around 60 degrees. So for my specific needs, I was looking for some type of a heat source that would keep this 1,500 square feet heated without spending a fortune. So I looked at wood-burning fireplaces and pellet stoves. The only thing about those is you have to actively manage them, and you can't just leave for a week and have it stay warm out here. They're not thermostat controlled, and I really wanted something thermostat controlled. So what I decided to go with was an affordable option. And I actually contacted Vevor, asked them if they could provide me with one of these heaters to review, but purchasing this heater, I think it's like $300. It was either a little under or a little over $300. I'll have to check that. And it is rated for a 1,000 square foot shop. Now I just said this is a 1,500 square foot shop with a little bit high roof, but it's fairly well insulated, and I do not try to keep it at 70 degrees like you would your house. Most of the time in the winter, I keep this at about 60 degrees. And we're not in the far north where it's sub-zero all the time. We typically have, usually most of the winter, we'll have daytime highs of 45, 50 degrees, and at night maybe down 20 degrees. It's not absolute freezing, and I can use supplement heat. So the heater I have might be a little bit small for this building, but I feel pretty good about it doing what I need it to do. So let's take a look at the heater. So this is the heater that I'm installing. You can see it's got controls on the front where you set a temperature. It's thermostat controlled. It will heat to that temperature and shut off. And of course it has overheat protection and safety overloads and things like that. To me, another appeal to this system is it's non-invasive, or I don't have to modify my building. Like if I put in a wood stove, I would have to vent out the smokestack and support that coming up above the roof line, or go through my roof and water seal that, or whatever the case may be. So I really like that this is something internal in the shop, and in 2 years, if I decide to replace the central unit, this can be a backup system. And the install is going to be super simple and easy. So it's got a bracket like this, says to mount from the ceiling or the wall. Now I actually have a heavy built shelf right over here, you'll see in a minute, that sticks out from the wall and could support another 500 pounds easily. It's built pretty heavy and it doesn't have much on it. And I'm going to put this on that shelf. Just puts lag bolts through these 6 holes to hold the bracket on. And then you've got 2 points here that fasten the heater to this and allow you to aim it. It also comes with a remote, so if the heater is up high enough that you can't reach the controls, you can turn it on and off and change the temperature with this little remote. As far as the power draw on this unit, it's 10,000 watts. It is up to 42 amps, so you need a 50 amp circuit breaker, and you need at least 6 gauge wire for this exact heater. Now they have 2 smaller sizes. I got the largest one. It uses 6 gauge wire. Now from what I can see, it looks like this puts out about 30,000 BTUs, which is pretty good. So right now I want to get it mounted up. We'll get it turned on, see how everything goes. It looks like the install is going to be really simple and easy. So now we're going to remove this screw. That lets the door drop down, and we can see what we're doing for the wiring. This really could not be more simple. I'm no electrician at all, but you've got your 2 posts right here. One of your wires goes here, the other one here, and your ground goes there. We've got a knockout right here. And this will go through there, put the wire through and clamp it down so that your wire is secure. I've got the wire locked down tight here. Then we've got our white wire and our black wire in tight here. And the ground screw is connected. I just need to put that screw in right there. And this is all connected. Generally with an install video, I like to show every step of the process. But when I do electrical, I always make some kind of mistake or something I don't do perfectly. Everyone gets wound up about it. I'm not an electrician. I'm not going to show wiring that into the box. But there are plenty of videos out there that will show you how to add a 50 amp breaker, wire that into your box. I'm going to get it ready and I'll be right back and we'll fire up the heat. I heard it beep whenever I flipped the breaker on. I've got a power light here, so nothing's blown up yet. Turned it on, it says 65, 66, 67, 68. Real simple, just adjust the temperature like that. Well, it's not kicking on because it's currently warmer than that in here. And I've actually got the air conditioner running, but I'd like to turn it up high enough that it kicks on for a minute and I know it works. So we're going to turn this up to 80. And it's blowing. It's already warm. It only took a couple seconds for it to be warm air. Yep, she's good and hot. What I'd like to do is use the heater for a week and tell you how well it works on the shop. Problem is, current daytime high temperatures are in the 80s. The lows at night are around 60. I don't need to run a heater. There's no way for me to really test it right now. But if you're watching this video in the future, if we're in winter time or it's next year, then I'll be able to tell you how good of a job this garage heater does on my shop. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.